So I want to get your thoughts on this. I think as a generation we were blessed. We were blessed to be able to stay at home and raise our children if we wanted. We could live on one income. That's no longer a reality unless you're really, really wealthy. So the average person, I think, okay, I'm just saying what I think. Not research, not any of that. I'm just stating my opinion. But there's so much pressure on everybody nowadays. I think my generation and the next generation, we're pretty lucky. We women, it was a privilege to stay at home. It was. We didn't know it. And it was great to stay at home and to take care of our children. It was also great to be able to cook by scratch. When I was a young kid, we didn't have processed foods. Everything was cooked from scratch. Took all day to fix meals, do the wash, hang it up outside. Some of us had ringer washes. Sewing. I used to sew my own clothes on an old treadle machine. I wished I had a treadle machine. I love that old machine. And I think about it now, all the new ones, it's the thread tension just always gets destroyed. You can't ever get it fixed. Things are just made so cheaply. They're made to not last. And we used to have things that would last. We were very lucky. We could live on very little money. And we didn't need two incomes. We could own a house. Nowadays, I think that it's much, much harder for people and families. And I understand the struggles. I remember in the 70s when we had shortages, mainly gas, and I'd sit in line for 30 minutes or 45 minutes to get a tank of gas. It used to aggravate the heck out of me. But you know what? Now I look back and go, that was nothing. That was nothing. We got all these preppers. I'm one of them. Sorry. I'm one of them. I try to prepare. I do buy, and I forgot today I was going to buy half-gallon jars. They're around $14, Walmart's brand. They're half-gallon glass jars with the wide mouth lids. They handle almost 5 pounds of rice, one jar. So I like to buy them. I put my flour in them, my pancake mix, my rice, my beans, my oats, my if I don't eat cereal, it's oats. Cereal's too sweet. What else? Sugars. Salt is another thing. Salt eats through the tin of the lid. I'm having a hard time with salt. Yeah, I am. That's the one thing I have a hard time with. Putting in jars. A few jars I've put it in, just jars I bought at the store, used them up, like spaghetti sauce jars. Put salt in them. No. It wasn't a good idea. So as long as it's touching glass, it's okay. But the minute it touches the tin or the metal, it eats away at it. So salt's pretty strong. But anyway, I'm getting off the subject. I don't even know what subject I was on. Now I've lost my focus. But I'm just talking about the past, and how lucky we were. I feel very fortunate now. We do have fast food, but at one time, McDonald's was a treat, was a Sunday meal. It was like once every few months, we'd get to go to McDonald's and have a meal, or have a hamburger. Of course, it was reasonably priced then. Nowadays, forget it. But who can handle, you got 5 people at, say, $20 a piece at McDonald's now, when it used to be maybe $2 or $3 for a meal, and now it's $17 to $20 for a meal. How do you take 5? That's $100. Income never kept up, never ever kept up with everything else. It didn't. Cost of living, income never kept up with it. We all know that. But how do you feel about how lucky we were? I mean, did you have experiences where you just felt, oh man, the cars I could buy, a brand new car for $5,000. There's a Dodge Ram pickup for $95,000. A car. a car. Oh, it's kind of freaky, really. I'm looking at this like, that's a house. My first house was $9,000 with a half an acre. Give me a break, people. I mean, it's very sad. I think it's very sad in the direction we've gone. Yes, you know, because of us, we put these satellites up in the sky, and now we have internet, okay? That was us doing that in the 60s. I was proud of us doing, well, no, I wasn't. I was against it. You know, I didn't think we belonged in the sky, but that's neither here nor there. That was my opinion then. Now I question myself on that. But that's how I felt at the time. I felt we should be feeding the poor. We should be taking care of people. We should just be doing a lot of other things with our money other than going up in the sky and checking out what's up there. I don't really care. I'm more concerned about what's here, okay? You know, trying to make a meal. But now we have processed foods. Everybody's going, oh, stay away from processed foods. Well, they're so much faster. Now we have less time because everybody's working. You don't have time to cook from scratch. Unless you're retired like us, we have all the time in the world. We can do whatever we want, and we can cook from scratch. So I do see people using biscuit things. I mean, I use the bags of rice. It's $1, you know. Oh, and the Spanish rice was excellent. I haven't done a video on that. I tried the taco rice, and that was $1, and that was like 4 meals, really. It was incredible. But it wasn't as tasty as I would have liked it. The Spanish rice is excellent. I love it. Put a little hamburger and some beans in it. It was excellent. The Spanish rice was delicious for $1. So I would recommend that to everybody. But, so, you know, now we're looking at things that we just need to do from scratch. And nobody has the time. Everybody's concerned or confused or working all the time just to cover their bills. I'm feeling very blessed of the time frame that I was raised in, that I've experienced most of my life in, and I am very appreciative of that. I guess that's what I want to say. How do you feel about it? I'm not saying it was the best of times. No. Everybody says, oh, my generation was the best of times. It was, you know, some parts were. Other parts weren't. So it's not ever 100%, but I think we had it a lot easier than what everybody now has it. And I feel very lucky. So that's my little morning chat. I'm just talking about right off my head, whatever I want, really. I thank you for watching, sharing, liking, commenting, and I'll see you next time. I give you my love.